Kubinashi Recollection is a remarkable puzzle platformer. Between its stellar level progression, intuitive level design, charming art style and visuals, relaxing and sometimes inspiring music, or even the game's ability to accommodate new players and speedrunners alike, it's rather difficult to pinpoint a single reason for what truly makes this game unique and a joy to play through 50 levels. For some, it may be a combination of all of those previous traits, while for others, this joy may come from something that I haven't even listed before, such as the simple, yet engrossing story about memories. However, personally, what I like the most about Kubinashi Recollection is an underrated part of games, something that is often taken for granted when done right and not often brought up. Sound effects. There's just something interesting about this game's sound effects. A certain soothing feeling that comes from the rising pitch of Sekibanki's jump, from the collecting of puzzle pieces, or even from making a basic decision. While it is common to have a high pitch for confirmation sounds, or as a reward to the player for doing something right in many games, Kubinashi Recollection extends that to several sounds that you would not expect to have a high pitch, such as the jelly attack end of the game countdown, or even the stage selecting sound. In fact, one of the only times where neutral pitch is used is whenever a part of the environment, such as blocks or ice blocks, are destroyed. As for the lower pitches, they are very exclusively reserved to cancelling actions in menus or perishing. In essence, almost everything in Kubinashi Recollection is accompanied by its own custom rewarding sound. This can go from the simple throw of a head, to meeting someone in the story, to even something such as pausing the game. And although it may seem a tad excessive on the surface, it reinforces this feeling of taking the game easy and to take the time to think about the right answer to the puzzle before continuing. Even when taking the game a bit more seriously and speedrunning, the relaxing tone of the retry sound, along with the almost instantaneous reset of the level, makes each failed attempt way less frustrating than it could be. Of course, this is far from everything that the game undertakes to make the sound design excellent. And in order to explain why it goes a bit further than some simple tones, allow me to introduce you to the coolest fairy of the Misty Lake, Chirino. Chirino is a playable character in one of the secret levels of this game, I Am the Saikyo, on top of having many other hidden levels tucked away in the game's files. But despite only being playable for a single level tantamount to an Easter egg, she still possesses her own sound effects to go along with her specific abilities. This comes in the form of an ice shot, an ice block, and the switch block being hit by an ice pellet. And here, the game plays off the previously established Sekibanki sound effects by raising the pitch of those sounds even higher. Not only just showing that Chirino takes those puzzles even less seriously than Sekibanki, but also setting up another rule that the characters' mindsets are defined by their sound effects, with Sekibanki being the baseline. The game even takes this a step further by integrating this rule into the character's victory jingle whenever you get a memory fragment. Take a listen at Sekibanki's, and now at Chirino's. And although I'm talking more about music with this example, this also extends to their respective title screen themes. Once again, here's Sekibanki's. And now Chiden... Wait a minute. That is not Chidena's title screen. Come back! Come back!
Where am I? When I regained consciousness, it was pitch black. Is anyone here? I can't remember where I came from or who I am. What am I going to do? Oh, I'm in trouble. But I remember how to use my abilities. It looks like I'll have to use them to move forward. The intricate and convoluted obstacle make it difficult to move ahead, but I have no choice but to move onwards. What is that puzzle piece looking thing that I found along the way? I feel like it's something important.
Come back! Come on, come back to your senses! Are you still there? Oh man, you vanished so suddenly! I thought you were gone! You know what? How about we take a break before continuing? Does that sound good to you? Alright, well, let's take a breather then.
So, no head? Try out the brand new 9th head mode! With the extra power of 9 heads at your disposal, traversing those levels will be no more than a formality. Annoying spikes in the way? No longer an issue. Missing a single head for that decisive jump? Call in the reinforcements. Alone on a Friday night? They can also keep you company! Don't hesitate and get the 9th head mode now to avoid any unnecessary headaches! Call us now and get an extra memory fragment for free! Additional heads sold separately. 9th head mode does not actually cure headaches. For any additional details, please check the side of the game's box.
So, we're back. Where was I before? Ah, right. There's one last thing I wanted to show that makes Kubinashi Recollection sounds even better than all of that. Them being different by playing different characters is already unique enough, but the reason they're able to be remembered in the first place is because of the levels they are in. Take the chandeliers of the Scarlet Devil Mansion. These have a distinct sound for whenever you detach them and they reach the ground. Those sounds are not used anywhere else in the game and are therefore synonymous with this specific zone, allowing you to identify the world you're in with sound alone. And that much isn't even needed when you take certain mechanics into account. Portals, for example, first appear in the Dream Scraps world, allowing for more complex puzzles to be thrown at you by virtue of being able to be at 2 spots at the same time. However, despite them appearing later in the depths, they are still a signature of the world they appear in because of their specific sounds. You hear these all throughout the 5 levels of Dream Scraps, which, in turn, makes you associate the game mechanic with the place and its visuals. It's honestly pretty cool to have such a distinct soundscape that allows you to quickly adapt to your surroundings and understand the puzzles much more quickly. Because of that, the Forest of Magic is often associated with the sound of switch blocks, whereas a world like Azure Winter is easily recognizable thanks to the sound of its falling icicles. In fact, this is taken to the extreme with one world in particular that associates game mechanics, music, and sound effects. It's not difficult to understand why the outside world is one of the most memorable zones in all of Kubinashi Recollection. Making the crux of the puzzles a game of red light, green light is already interesting enough in its own right. But then linking its signature sound effects to the beat of the level songs is similar to giving a shot of dopamine every 2 to 5 seconds. And by making the Yoku blocks the signature of the world, this means that the previous rule about making the level easy to identify also applies here. In sum, the outside world is pretty much the prime example of how Kubinashi Recollection's sound design works. The constant rewarding cycle of positive feedback through sound effects comforts the player into taking some time to find a way to resolve puzzles, and the gradual introduction of gameplay mechanics also brings exclusive sounds and key memories of several zones in the game. Whereas the characters that don't get a lot of time instead have their own sounds for their mechanics, allowing for a quick understanding of how they think and what they are capable of. As a result, even after finishing the game several years ago, I'm still able to remember much of the game. The sound of flipping the switches, hitting the mochi, frantically breaking the jelly, and even playing the theme of Eastern Story in one of the secret levels, Night of the Dancing Stars. In the end, this is the reason why I like the sounds coming from that game. Every single one of them is linked to some sweet memories. And what is a good game if not a collection of sweet memories after all? Well, at least this used to be the case until I decided to get the best medal on the 3rd level of the depths. If you've played the game, you are aware of what I mean by that. And if you don't, well, don't take those last words too seriously and go try the game out. It will definitely be worth all of your time. With that said, thank you for listening to me blabber about a subject that may have felt a little unconventional this time around. Take care of yourselves, enjoy what you want to enjoy, and see you next dream. No, listen, Seija, I will not put you into the video. You are supposed to stay hidden, and that's your whole gimmick. Wait, what are you doing? Let me go! Come on! That's stupid, I'm a jackass, I swear!